Matthew Gray Gubler is an actor, director, filmmaker, model, author, painter, and illustrator. Fighting games are one of the few styles of video games that characters from other titles can easily slot into, and we've seen many cases of this over the years. He began his career in 2004, and he has worked in both film and television. He is probably best known for playing Doctor, but which ones are the best and most memorable? Here are the top 10 best fighting game cameos. 10. Spencer Reid in Criminal Minds. Due to the success of his career, Matthew Gray Gubler's net worth is now $10 million, and here is how he achieved his wealth. His early life. Matthew Gray Gubler was born in Las Vegas on March 9, 1960. He attended high school at the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. Although he wanted to study filmmaking, the school did not offer a course in this subject, so he studied acting instead. Gubler then majored in film directing at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. Matthew Gray Gubler's modeling career. During his time at film school, a model scout discovered Gubler, and he signed to DNA Model Management. While he was with this model agency, he modeled for some major fashion brands, including Marc Jacobs, Tommy Hilfiger, and American Eagle. One of the highlights of his modeling career was being ranked in the 46th position on the Models.com list of the world's top 50 male models. His career in the entertainment industry. Gubler entered the entertainment industry when he became an intern to filmmaker Wes Anderson, who encouraged him to act. Final Fantasy VII characters. Ehrgeiz. Despite the fact it wasn't created as a Final Fantasy VII fighting game, Dream Factory's Ehrgeiz is perhaps best known for its inclusion of FF7 characters in its PlayStation release. The game differs from other traditional 3D fighting games in that it takes inspiration from wrestling, allowing players to move around freely and not be facing each other at all times. Cloud and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII were unlockable in the arcade version of the game, with Sephiroth, Yuffie, Vincent, and Zack added to the PS1 version of the game too. Anderson asked Gubler to audition for a part in his film, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and he was given the part of Nico. While Gubler was involved in making this film, he also had his first go at filmmaking, as he filmed what happened behind the scenes to make the documentary, Matthew Gray Gubler's Life Aquatic Internal Journal. A DVD of the documentary was included with the Criterion Collection DVD of the film. This was used heavily to promote and sell the game, with Cloud being a focal point of the game's cover art. Overall, it is quite a fun game and has a good RPG-style story mode. I have quite a few fond memories of playing it growing up. 9. In 2005, Gubler landed his first major television role when he got the part of Dr. Spencer Reid in the CBS series, Criminal Minds. He continued to portray this character until 2020, and he also directed 12 episodes of the series. Spartan 458 Dead or Alive 4, initially a non-canon character in the Halo universe, with her just being created as a generic Master Chief-style character, Spartan 458 eventually became canon to the universe in later Halo titles, being mentioned in logs. While he played this leading role, he continued to act in many other film and television roles. On television, he appeared as himself in a 2011 episode of Celebrity Ghost Stories. He then appeared in 2 episodes of the first season of The Beauty Inside, in 2012. Gubler also appeared in 3 episodes of Dollface in 2019. In films, Gubler played Joe in the 2006 film, RV. A year later, he provided the voice for Simon Seville in Alvin and the Chipmunks. He reprised his voice roles in the 3 sequels of the film. Originally, the developers wanted to include Master Chief, but it was instead agreed upon that they would create a unique character that resembles him but instead will be female. 8. Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Soulcalibur v Assassin's Creed's Ezio Auditore da Firenze serves as a guest character in Soulcalibur v, continuing on the tradition of guest characters in almost every game. Alvin and the Chipmunks. The Squeak Kell, in 2009, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, in 2011, and Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip, in 2015. He appears as he did in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as his middle-aged incarnation. Gubler has also had voice roles in All-Star Superman, Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantasaur, and Batman: Assault of Arkham. Soulcalibur has a heavy focus on weapons, making Ezio a perfect fit as he uses 5 weapons in the game: hidden blades, swords, a crossbow, a dagger, and a hidden gun. 7. Other films in which Gubler had roles prior to 2015 include The Great Buck Howard, How to Be a Serial Killer, 500, Days of Summer, Magic Valley, Excision, Life After Beth, Suburban Gothic, Hot Air, Beautiful Girl, and the short film, Desire. Since 2015, Matthew Gray Gubler has had roles in Band of Robbers, Trashfire, Newness, 68 Kill, Zoe, Endings, Beginnings, and the short film, Beginner's Luck. Most recently, he played Darren Colt in the 2020 psychological drama film, Horse Girl. Gubler has also had many behind-the-camera roles in the entertainment industry. He made his directorial debut with the 2005 film, Claude, A Symphony of Horror. In the same year, he was also the writer, director, editor, cinematographer, and producer of The Cactus That Looked Just Like a Man. A year later, he wrote, directed, and produced the documentary, Matthew Gray Gubler, the unauthorized documentary. At various points in his career, Gubler has been involved in music videos. Kratos, Mortal Kombat, 2011. Kratos became the first guest character in the Mortal Kombat series in 2011's reboot of the series. His first was the music video for Whirlwind Heat's single, Reagan, in 2006, which he directed. The God of War character was available exclusively in the PS3 and PS Vita versions of the game, as God of War is a Sony IP. With Kratos being a demigod, he fit right into the Mortal Kombat universe, with characters such as Raiden, Fujin, and Shinnok all being gods too. He was then the director, editor, and co-producer for The Killers' 2007 single, Don't Shoot Me Santa. Gubler worked with The Killers again in 2015, when he directed and produced the music video for their single, Dirt Sledding. Most recently, he appeared in a music video for the 2020 Future Islands single, Moonlight. Other works. In addition to his career in the entertainment industry, Matthew Gray Gubler is also a painter. It began as a hobby that he enjoyed in his spare time, and his chosen media include watercolor, oil, pastel, and gouache. He began to take his painting seriously in 2005 when he began posting his work on his website. In the same year, the Gallery of Fine Art in Ostrava, Czech Republic, displayed 12 pieces of Gubler's work, all of which sold. Gubler then had his work on show at the Little Bird Art Gallery in Atwater Village, California, in 2008. Kratos hasn't appeared in any other Mortal Kombat game, and it's unclear as to whether he will or not, but he will always go down in history as being the character that opened the door for future guest appearances, which now include the likes of Joker, Predator, Freddy Krueger, and Jason Voorhees. 6. 2 years later, some of his paintings were featured in the Juxtapo magazine. Bad box art Mega Man, Street Fighter X Tekken. In recent years the original box art for Mega Man has become a meme online, so Capcom decided to poke fun at themselves by including this version of the character as a playable fighter in Street Fighter X Tekken. Gubler has also sold paintings on eBay, and a piece called Mushface sold on the auction site for more than $10,000 in 2011. Matthew Gray Gubler has also become an author. He published his first book in 2019, and it is titled, Rumple Buttercup, a story of bananas, belonging and being yourself. He was also the illustrator for the book. For years Street Fighter and Tekken were two of the biggest fighting series in gaming, before deciding to come together for a series of games. Although it was published as a children's book, Gubler has said it is for people of all ages who do not feel like they fit in. Capcom was tasked with bringing the Tekken characters to a Street Fighter-style game, while Bandai Namco was set to bring Street Fighter characters to Tekken. The story focuses on a monster called Rumple Buttercup, who is self-conscious about his appearance. In 2012 Street Fighter X Tekken was released to mixed reviews. Gubler's book was well received, and it ranked in the first position in its category on the New York Times Best Sellers list. Matthew Gray Gubler's net worth. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Matthew Gray Gubler's net worth is $10 million. Unfortunately, this led to Tekken X Street Fighter being delayed and then ultimately cancelled. It is a shame because Tekken X Street had the potential to be one of the greatest fighting games of all time, but it is unlikely we will ever see it released now. 5. Yoda, Darth Vader, Starkiller, Soulcalibur IV. Soulcalibur IV and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed were both released in 2008. So Bandai Namco and LucasArts decided to collaborate and include the classic characters Darth Vader and Yoda, as well as the Force Unleashed Starkiller as player characters in the game. He has made his money through various means, including acting, directing, filmmaking, modeling, painting, illustrating, and as an author. PlayStation 3 players had Darth Vader unlocked from the start, while Xbox 360 gamers had Yoda. But, rather than make each platform exclusive, players could either purchase or unlock the other character, making them both accessible on either console. Players could also unlock Starkiller by completing arcade mode with either Star Wars character.
They were all really fun to use too, with weapons playing a large role in Soulcalibur, so the lightsaber fit right in and didn't feel out of place. 4. Snake. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series was originally a possible character in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but by the time Hideo Kojima asked for him to be included, the development of the game was in its later stages and the deal couldn't be made. Instead, he became one of two third-party characters in the next entry, Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Nintendo Wii, with the other character being Sonic. Since then, he has become a fan favorite and is one of the better fighters to use. He is even voiced by the legendary David Hayter in the English versions, as well as his Japanese voice actor Akio Otsuka in the Japanese. 3. Jason Voorhees. Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat is known for its violence and gore, and when it comes to movies one name is strongly associated with violence, Jason Voorhees, making this a match made in heaven, or hell depending on how you look at it. Added alongside Tanya, Tremor, and Predator in the first Kombat DLC pack, Jason Voorhees features his classic design and has fatalities that are as brutal as you would expect. 2. Akuma. Tekken 7. Following the release of Street Fighter X Tekken, which brought Tekken characters to the 2D world in a Street Fighter game, Bandai Namco was supposed to develop Tekken X Street Fighter, which would add Street Fighters to the Tekken universe. Ultimately, the project was cancelled and it is unlikely that we will ever see the game released. Instead, Street Fighter's Akuma was included in the roster for Tekken 7, which gives us a glimpse at what could have been, and likely as close as we will get to seeing Tekken X Street Fighter become a reality. Akuma was made a focal point of the game's story too, with him playing a large role in the story mode where he faced Heihachi, Kazuya, and other characters. The Street Fighter style of moves surprisingly works in the 3D environment, which does make sense as Capcom tried their hand at it years earlier with the Street Fighter X series, but I wish we could have gotten more of this. Who knows, Tekken X Street Fighter might surface one day. 1. Link, Heihachi, Spawn. Soulcalibur 2. Without a doubt, the best cameo appearances in a fighting game came in Soulcalibur 2, with there being 3 cameos in the game except they were platform-specific. GameCube owners would get the chance to play as Link from Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda series, while PlayStation 2 owners could play as Heihachi, a character from Tekken which is another Bandai Namco IP, and finally, Xbox players could play as Spawn from Todd McFarlane's comic series of the same name. This was a great move because it left no platform out, with each receiving their own unique character, and also helped multi-platform owners decide which console they purchased the game on. I guess if you wanted to play as them all then it'd get a bit expensive. Today we see a lot of platform-exclusive content, whether it is timed exclusivity or a certain platform receiving unique content. But quite often this comes at the expense of another missing out, so kudos to Bandai Namco for giving everyone an extra piece of content to enjoy. Previous article.